Hey, welcome back to another Black Seed Coffee vlog. In this video, we are going to be roasting some decaf. So I'm going to show you in this video how I roast decaf. I'm sure there are many ways to get there. What I'm going to try to do with this particular decaf, it's very good. It's from Colombia. It's my favorite process, which is the EA process, the sugarcane process. We can talk about that a little bit later. Basically, here's the green. It looks a little darker than your typical green, okay? So the general theory when roasting decaf is to treat it very gently, to charge at a low charge rate, charge temperature, and just sort of take it into a medium roast level. You can get it to a light, but it'll be tough. I think it'll be tough. It'll be really tough to do like a proper 1-to-1 light roast as compared to, say, a washed or even a natural. Definitely possible, and this green in particular can do it. It can show you some really great acidity, some really great citrus and fruit notes, but for these customers, they want basically no acidity, okay? So our plan will be to still charge low, have a gentle hand at the roaster and sort of elongate out the middle, and then based on what I see at the trier and all the things, I'll be looking for a certain puffed up physical characteristic from the bean and a certain color, okay? Now the color, whenever we're calling events from green to yellow to first crack to finish, they're just going to be maybe 1 or 2 shades darker, and then your third phase you're probably going to just, as preferenced, how medium do you want to go, how dark do you want to go, okay? So this is just going to be in general like a little bit darker than what I'm doing, what I would sell online. These are like more custom orders, okay? So I go EA decaf, Colombia, and then the date. What's today? Okay, I need to have a better watch face. Doesn't even tell me the date. Okay, 19. Typically, my charge is around $3.50. Okay, no soak. And I should be fine. And the reason why I do that, again, when you guys watch these sort of like roast videos, they're not roast alongs unless you have the exact same machine, the exact same green, the exact same, those two are pretty good already, roast software, and it's configured, the same way. This is not really a roast along, okay? This is how I do it, and I'm sharing with you guys how I do it. So don't think you need to change the way that you're roasting your decaf or the way that you're roasting your coffee if that works for you. Good? Good. Okay. So if you're interested, though, my RoastPath, which is by Mill City Roaster, because I have a 1 kg Mill City roaster, I have no smoothing on my ROR. I would show you, but just take my word for it. The little toggle thingy, just all the way towards the left, okay? But you know what? For the purposes of experimentation, let's put it all the way to the right. Let's see what that looks like, okay? Because I've never done it before, and just for experiment's sake, I know how to roast this coffee already. I'm just sharing it to you guys, okay? So we're going to come down to 350 a little bit. I'm just turning on the fan to cool down a little bit. And how I do it consistently is that I'll come up to temperature. Now, a lot of people will be like, shouldn't you come down to temperature? I mean, hey, if it works for you and you consistently do that every single time, do that. This is what I've been doing for the last 1.5 years, so I'm just going to do it like this, okay? But I can do it the other way. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. These are full 1 kg batches, 1,000 grams. Okay. Load. Turn the heat up. My heat is on 2 kPa. Now we're going to approach our charge temp. I'm going to do the countdown. Timer. Okay, now we're waiting. All right, turning point, 143 at 214. So because it's a decaf, it has less like cellular mass. It's just like a more hollow structure. So it takes on heat easier, right? And so we're having a little bit of an earlier turning point than say a washed coffee or say a natural coffee, even at a low charge temp and not full power. And that's why they say decaf should be roasted gently. And when I first read that on like so many blogs, I'm like, what do you mean? That's what gently means. Just like it takes on heat a lot easier than a natural or a washed, potentially. And then you guys are going to see this very smooth ROR curve. But, you know, when I take out the ROR smoothing completely, which is what I normally do, it still doesn't look that bad, you know. All right, so we're doing TP 143, 214.7. And we're going to have try in, first crack, then drop. Again, the goal is very low acidity, medium, like a medium roast, so not the light side of medium, but a very solid medium with puffed up characteristics of the bean. That's what I'm looking for. And a very nice dark chocolate color. I would like to avoid any oils present on the bean though. Okay, so we're not going to take it to second crack or anything. All right, we're going to call this green to yellow. Increase the air, and we're going to lower the heat to about just a bump, a notch. Maybe it's like a 1.2 kPa. Because we're a little high on our ROR curve here. You can actually come down, let's just come down right to 1 kPa. So dry end is, I haven't recorded at the roaster in a while. And we do 1 kPa, 60 hertz. It's very like tan, light brown colors. Okay, I'm moving the gas down to about 7 kPa. 0.7. The sound of first crack will also be very gentle as well. Alright. So again, I'm looking at the behavior of my ROR curve to let me know how to manipulate my gas now. As we're riding middle phase out, we're steadily declining at 18 ROR. 18 degrees, that's good. 17. I don't need to touch the fuel. It's a good rate. I want to shoot for 3 minutes 45, 4 minute middle phase. Okay, that's what I want to shoot for. because I want to crank the acidity, because it can go pretty high with this coffee, surprisingly, with this decaf. I want to crank that a little lower. So I need to ride out my middle phase a little bit more. Fuel adjustment to 0.5 kPa. It's almost 8 minutes. I hear some outliers. We're at 340 degrees. I need to ride it a little bit more. It's going a little too fast. Let's go to 0.2 kPa. And I can tell that because the direction of my ROR is tailing up a little bit. Too much for my tastes. Come down a little bit more. Okay, this looks good. Let's ride this out. Cool. We're going to hit a 4-minute middle at least. That's good. I'm at a 12 ROR. Coming back up to like a 0.3 kPa. All right, here's our first crack. The air is at max. Make sure I'm still recording. Alright. I haven't touched the fuel. I'm at 0.3 kPa. This is just a little feedback smoke. So I'm going to flush it real quick. Going back up to 0.5. I want to keep this tail riding out. I don't want to dip too much right now. So let's go. I'm at 1 kPa. If I were to draw a line, I would want to follow this line, okay? I'll show for you on the screen. I'll draw a line right here and I'll follow this line. Alright. Feedback smoke. We're at least going to hit 20% on the finish. We've had a really nice, good middle phase, almost 5 minutes. So that's great. Because we want to take this into a very puffy green, and it's not there yet. Alright, now let's turn down the heat to about 0.5. We're tailing up a bit. Alright, we're looking puffy. Not all of them though, only some. We're down to 0.2 kPa. We're plateauing, so I need to come down a little bit. The coffee is now radiating its own heat. which will kind of mess with the bean temp. My finishing temp, it needs to be at least like 390. I'm going to bump up a little bit to about 0.34. Yeah, some of them still look like little canoes. Some of them are puffed up, and some are still flat or canoe. So I'm going to go up some more. So if I were to drop it right now, which I totally could, you'd still have a lot of acidity in the cup, which makes this decaf very tasty if you wanted to have a light roast. But yeah, this customer doesn't want any of that. Just wants the good decaf, you know. That's cool. That is okay. I think I lost too much momentum at 10.5 minutes, so I'm going to tail up a bit, and I won't be too worried about it. We're just trying to finish the coffee and get it to a higher temperature. Because I'm trying to roast the coffee and not the curve. Alright, they're looking pretty good here. Nice little puffy exterior. I want to get to 390. I'm at 388. Let it ride a little bit more. Let's let it ride at a lower temperature, 0.2 kPa. I don't mind about this little today. Smell it too. You can smell acidity, I think. I had to try it. I don't know if that's true. Alright, 390, but I feel like I can smell it. Alright, let's try. 390.5. Good. We'll look at the coffee and see. Yeah, that looks good. Nice and puffed up, a good color, nice chocolate devil's cake color, and yeah, I call that a solid medium, like smack dab in the middle of medium. Drop was at 15 minutes and 12 at 390 degrees. I think I could have reached that a minute earlier, but I don't know. I think I'll be fine. First crack was at 10 minutes at 363. So normally, if I were to roast it natural or washed, I would typically get like a 372, 375 sort of first crack. Okay? So that's the difference. That's what it means, gently. Okay? All right. Percentages. We had a 36% on the first phase, 31% on the middle phase, 33% on the third phase. I'm really happy with this, and I think this customer is going to like it. Alright, and that is how I roast a low acidity decaf coffee. Alright, thanks. This particular roast curve with 100% smoothing, I just as an experiment. You can find that in the description below. I'm going to do another one. I got another batch right here, which I'll do with no smoothing, how I normally roast. And you can find that link just below. 875. Minus 52. All right. 17.7% loss. Quite a bit loss. Decaf. Decaf is light. When do you call decaf green to yellow? It's a little tougher, isn't it? I call it right now. Okay, so I'm looking for a solid, like, tan color. It doesn't have to be yellow. It's just basically, you're calling it in terms of time, temperature, what you normally see with your particular decaf between mountain water, between Swiss process, between EA. You'll begin to see a pattern about how the coffee wants to react in the roaster. So, and then kind of like checking all the boxes of like smell, visual cues. You'll begin to see a pattern for you with your particular machine in your circumstance. Because there can be some crazy circumstances, like a subscriber once told me, I'm in the mountains, so I need to do everything more power, more everything, I think was the problem. So it just kind of depends on what you're seeing and what the coffee needs at that moment. But I think if you're working from a place of theory, some philosophical sort of knowledge and approach to whatever coffee that you're roasting, you'll get there. And then again, as long as you're cupping the coffee and you're getting what you want in the cup, then it kind of doesn't matter how you got there, especially if you can replicate it. In my opinion.